Hey, this is Natalie with the Fit Journey. I'm going to be doing my final pumpkin soap for the season. And this one I'm going for a kind of a pumpkin cheesecake. This one I'm going to be doing pumpkin puree, and then I have cocoa butter in here, and I have another pumpkin fragrance that I haven't used yet. But with this one I'm going for a pumpkin cheesecake fragrance. So I have the pumpkin pie, as well as a buttercream, a cream cheese frosting, a cinnamon, and then there is an almond biscotti that I'm blending together to make a really nice fragrance. And what my plan is, like I have the pumpkin here already, but in this one I have a little bit of the fragrance, a little bit of the pumpkin. I'm going to pour some of the emulsified batter in there, and then I'm going to put a little bit in the bottoms to kind of make it look like a crust. And then I'll pour a layer of a white, and then I'll do some swirls on top. That's my plan. None of these are supposed to accelerate. Of course, we never really know until we get in there, but all of them do discolor. So I'm going to be putting, I did put some in here, so that'll make it hopefully a dark brown, and then I'll have the white, and then I will add in the rest of the fragrance and the pumpkin once I separate my batches out. So in here I have a copper mica that does turn kind of an orangish, peachy orange color. I have some Moroccan red clay, and then I have my titanium dioxide already pre-mixed in water that I'll add in that one. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to fast forward through the blending part, and then we'll come back when I'm done with that. I'm going to let this sit for a little bit, and I'll come back once it has firmed up a little bit more. Then I will do the white layer and then let that set a little bit, and then we'll come back and swirl the top. But this should be okay. It's still very liquid, very fluid. I haven't added anything else to it, so we'll come back in a few minutes when that has firmed up a little bit. It has been a few minutes, about 5 minutes or so, since I paused this so that I could harden up. And we're going to go ahead and mix in some white, again with no fragrance. So we're going to do about double of that. I ended up at about 1.5 cups, so we'll do 3 cups. And then we'll add in the white, because I'd like to have a nice white creamy base there. And then, like I said, the swirls on top. And we'll add the pumpkin. You know what, I'm going to do a little bit less than this. I'm going to do about 2. Let's do 2 cups. Got that in. I'm going to go ahead and add in the a little bit more of the batter into these 3, and then I will go ahead and add the pumpkin in and the fragrance in, and then I'm going to go ahead and start swirling the top. So that titanium dioxide did thicken up quite a bit, so we can move on from there. Got those swirled. I'm going to go ahead and spritz the top with some alcohol, and then I'll put them in the oven with the light on to come to gel haze. We'll come back tomorrow when it's time to cut. It's taken actually several extra days for this to be hard enough for me to get it out of the mold and to be able to cut it. So with that extra pumpkin, even though I did do a liquid discount, I really didn't do enough. So next time I do this, I'll need to make sure to do a little bit more of a discount, because that pumpkin did have the extra moisture in it. So I went ahead, and when I pulled it out, the top layer, see how that dark, the vanilla content made that brown really nice and dark. and I have the different layers. But when I pulled it out of the mold, this layer, which was the pumpkin on the bottom and everything, that one was still very, very soft. So it took me a while to get that out of there. And I cut the ends of this one off yesterday, but you've got the fun little swirls and the color looks nice. So I'm going to go ahead and trim up that one. I trimmed this one up, and then we'll cut them to see what the inside looks like. And when I did this one yesterday, we did have some of the discoloration on the inside where you have that nice crisp line from the exterior hitting that vanilla. So you'll see that here in just a second. Let me trim this up really quick. There we go. I don't know if I said this earlier, but this one does have the cocoa butter in it, which is a hard oil, so you'd think it'd get harder, but it really didn't do a whole lot with that extra pumpkin. So let's cut off the edges really quick. There we go. Okay, so like what I was talking about, you have this nice dark, excuse me, that nice dark line from the vanilla content. So this is one that I just did, and then this is the one that I cut yesterday. So you can see how that's really filled in. And then you've got, if you can see these little spots, those are just the little spots of pumpkin, which are fine. And I mean, you can't see them really right now through there, but that will darken up. I'm going to go ahead and trim these up. Then we'll wait an extra day or two to stamp them since they're so soft. And then we'll come back for a final look, and you can see that really nice dark line. So once this interacts with the air, it will darken up, and this will continue to darken some more as the days go on. So we'll come back for a final look.